Shalom. When Rachel and I were first married, we lived in Jerusalem while I was studying at the Mir Yeshiva. I remember one occasion when I went to visit a friend, a van drew up at the same time, and the driver proceeded to unload a fridge that was to be taken to a resident living on the third floor. I stood aghast, wondering how the driver, a middle-aged Russian Ole, not much more than 5 foot tall, how is he going to get the fridge up 3 flights of stairs in an apartment block that had no lift? Could I offer to help? Should I? I'd probably do my back in. And before I could say anything, he took a harness out of his cab, expertly wound it round the fridge, put it on, and proceeded to climb the stairs with the fridge on his back. In explaining the phrase Ol HaMitzvot, the yoke of the commandments, Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch, the great 19th century leader of German Jewry, tells us that a yoke is not a heavy burden to bear, as we might think it is. In fact, a yoke is a light piece of wood that enables us to carry heavy burdens much heavier than would otherwise be the case. The bricklayer's hod, the yoke on the ox, or the fridge schlepper's harness enables them to efficiently lift, carry, pull much heavier loads. Understood in this way, we can see that our heritage, our Jewish tradition, far from being a heavy burden to bear, in fact helps us bear much larger burdens. For example, many people have said to me that the process, the experience of a shiva has enabled them to cope with the bereavement in a way that would be far more difficult otherwise. And the rhythm of Jewish life, with its emphasis on Torah, Avodah, Gemilut Chasadim, Torah study, prayer, and acts of kindness, have enabled Jews across the world to have a framework to function and sometimes even flourish under lockdown. The source of this idea is a midrash on this week's Parshat. The midrash paints for us the picture of Moses coming down the mountain with the 2 tablets of stone, stones engraved with the words of the 10 Commandments. And then he sees the Israelites worshipping the golden calf. And as he approaches the camp, the midrash tells us the letters flew off those stones miraculously, leaving Moses carrying blank hulks of wood that were too heavy to bear, and he smashes them to the ground. The midrash is telling us that it was the actual words of the commandments engraved on the stone that made it possible for Moses to carry the much greater weight of the tablets. The ongoing existence of the Jewish people, despite centuries of persecution, bears out the truth of this idea. In keeping the Torah carries us, whatever the challenges might be. Shabbat Shalom.